Hi, Ross Quintana with Social Magnets here, and thanks for tuning in and checking out this blog post. The blog post is called The Value of Finding Your Audience, and so this video is just a quick little video to kind of highlight some cool things that we're going to talk about and to give you a few extra tidbits. It's going to be embedded in the blog post, so if you're on YouTube and you're checking this out, the link to the blog post, The Value of Finding Your Audience, should be below. And, the first thing is I'll cover real quickly what we're going to cover, which is finding your audience, effortless loyalty and engagement, a natural environment for sales, and targeting do's and don'ts. And, one of the first things that I'll jump into real quick is the fact that, people may not understand the value of their own audience. They don't understand the value of their current audience and probably don't understand the value of taking a hard look at that and saying, is this actually my audience? You think my audience is my audience. Not necessarily. It might not be your true audience. And so if you're out there trying to be a thought leader, or you're selling a product or service, or you're doing PR or whatever you're doing, a lot of people think that, wow, I have 1,000 followers on Twitter. And they think that that's their audience. And they think that those 1,000 followers are their audience, when in reality they may not be your audience. Some of those may be really your audience, and a lot of them may not be, because depending on how you attracted them, why they're following your account, most businesses don't know, and most individuals don't know. Why are they following my account? Are they interested in this part of my business, or this content that I'm sharing, or it's something entirely different? And so it goes beyond big data, it goes beyond analytics and things like that, to just paying attention. Anyone can do this. You don't have to be a data geek in order to fine-tune your audience and understanding your audience. That's going to help you with targeted growth, and that's going to help you with resonating with the audience that you already have. So there's really two sides to the audience. There's the audience you got, and the audience that you are continuing to get. And really that second one should be the audience that you want, your right audience. But for most people, they're gaining new followers and they're gaining audience, but they're not converting those people because they're the wrong people. So the reality is if you have 1,000 followers and only 10 of them on any given day are really engaging with you and your product or your brand, then you have to switch the way you think about your audience and start thinking about those 10, right? That's a subset of your audience, but that's really your true audience. Those are the ones where what you're doing right now works for them, so much so that they're going to take action, they're going to share and engage and do all these things with your brand. That's your premium audience. That's your A-plus audience. And so instead of worrying about general demographics and analytics about your audience, which that part's important too, more important if you're doing the first thing right, which is your targeting and finding the right audience, then the analytics and all that stuff makes sense. But for most people, they're piling tactics upon tools, upon data, and all those mean nothing if you're talking to the wrong people. The data isn't going to tell you a story because your audience is all over the place, or it's not even your true core audience. The tools aren't going to help you do anything more than get more people who aren't your actual audience that you're reaching for, which means you're getting less results. For every 980 people that you put in, 20 engage with you and drive your sharing and your content and your brand. Don't go looking for another 1,000 like you had. Get to know those 10 or 20 people that are actually doing something with you, and get to know what it is that makes them like your brand. Reach out and talk to them. That's the great thing about social media. You can just go out and connect one-on-one. I've said it before in my other blog post, which is the inverse of social media scaling or marketing scalability. It's turning it around and saying, not how can I talk to another 10,000 people, but how can I get the value out of talking to one of the right people in my audience? That's where you'll start to unlock keys, because the reality is that there's these hubs and these core people who really drive a lot of your engagement. Because in social media, these people are social media kindling, so to speak, if we want to think about it conceptually. You can't start the fire without kindling. And when it comes to sharing your content, engaging. If there's no comments, guess what there'll be more of? No comments. But if there's comments, other people feel, I'm going to jump in and do comments. And so those key people who are go-to people all the time, they jump in, they engage with you, they're sharing your content. Those are very valuable. Number one, you should be loving the hell out of them. Number two, you better figure out what makes them connect with you and what resonates, because you'll get more data and analytics that's useful out of talking and engaging with those people and having real conversations than you will all of the tools on the back-end systems and all of that give you generic information about a generic audience. So anyway, I hope that whetted your appetite for the rest of the blog post. Enjoy the rest of the blog post. I'm going to release a series of 4 videos that are like 20-minute videos that go deeper into each of the 4 pillars of this blog post. And I'd love to hear your feedback and in the comments. I appreciate your shares. I'd love to hear what you think further in the discussion. So hit me up on Twitter, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Show your love. I show my love for my audience all the time. I appreciate you guys taking your time, and enjoy the rest of the post.